Fandoms here, we share the love. Every topic you're dreaming of. Join the chat, let's fan away. This is Fandoms, come and stay.
You're listening to Fandoms. I'm your host, Brody Otway. Join me as I interview a guest about anything from collecting celebrity hair to the Scholastic Book Fair. Today on the show, we'll be talking to Marcello about Animorphs. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, I've been excited to do this. We've kind of been dodging around it for a while, and it's finally great to sit down and do it. I found your videos a while back and went on a deep dive of Animorphs, and my girlfriend at the time was kind of like, have you even read these books? And I'm like, nope, but I know way more about the series than I probably should for someone who hasn't.
Yeah, everyone should read them. I recommend them to everyone. I think like they kind of got like overshadowed by Goosebumps and like the zeitgeist a little bit. Like R.L. Stine kind of came and like occupied the space in our minds that we reserved for like young adult 90s fiction, I guess. But I think they're better than Goosebumps, as much as I do love Goosebumps and would never say a negative word about R.L. Stine.
From what I've seen so far, they definitely seem better than Goosebumps. Like, I wasn't a huge Goosebumps kid. I had my favorites here and there. Night of the Living Dummies scared the piss out of me as a kid.
Yeah, same.
But like, and something about the Animorph covers, if I knew they were fighting aliens, I would have been all in. But I thought it was just like kids turning into animals, and I had I didn't even read the back of the books, obviously, but I just seen the covers and was like, pass.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because when I bought the first one, like I didn't read the back either. I bought it because I thought the cover was interesting, but I didn't think I would like it. I just got it because like I had my $10 for the Scholastic Book Fair or whatever and didn't know what else to get. And then the covers were interesting enough. But when I realized, I remember still, I was like 8 years old. And I remember like realizing what the books were actually about and being like, oh, word, like this will be good. I will like this, in fact. And I did.
Yeah, so for anyone who has like no clue, what exactly is Animorphs? How would you describe it to somebody completely unfamiliar with the series?
There's two ways you could answer that. And one would be like a lightly spoilery way, like not really, but like just like thematically spoilery. And one would be to sort of just like give what the actual plot of the books is. I'm going to do the second one that I mentioned first, and then I'll give the sort of broad definition of like what you would say to someone, I guess. So like directly, the books are about an alien invasion on Earth by aliens that can take over the bodies. They're like parasitic aliens. They take over human bodies. So the invasion is covert, and a group of kids, through things that happen in the very first book, which is one of the best books, so I won't spoil it in any kind of detail, gain the ability to morph into any animal they can touch. So they also have a sort of covert weapon, and they use this power to fight the covert invasion. On like a broader scale and a thematic like description of the books is that they're books about like kids who are forced to go to war. Basically, they're war novels. Like cloaked in YA science fiction.
They're way darker than I ever imagined they'd get. Like, I ended up getting the audiobooks because I was like, man, like these sound like something I could enjoy today as an adult still, even though I missed out on the hype. And so far, I've checked out the first 2 audiobooks and pretty good so far. The narration's good.
If you're used to like reading in any capacity, you could read one of these books like a night probably. So you could get through the whole series in like a couple months if you wanted to. And I highly recommend it because like it gets, I didn't realize this until my first like reread of the books, but like they do have like very dark themes, and there are like overarching sort of like messages about like what war does to the psyche and how it might impact children. And like I don't know if this was KA's intention when she started writing these books or what, but like that is very much what they turned into.
Yeah.
And they're rewarding for as an adult. I'm due for a reread now that I mention this. I can't just reread on the cadence that I'm able to squeeze videos out of whatever free time that I have. I should just read the books again.
Yeah, I got the first book to read with my daughter, and she just it wasn't her thing. Like, she loves animals, so I thought that would get her, and she was into it at first, but like she just wasn't really into the actiony parts and stuff. And maybe in a year or two she might come around to it, but like right now she was like not loving it. So I ended up just like
Yeah.
putting the book down like a few chapters in, and I have no idea where she put it. So I ended up getting the audiobook because I was like, she's not gonna lose this on me.
Yeah.
So how did you first get into the series? Did you start with the first book, or did you start partway into the series?
So I started with the first one. I like got it at a Scholastic book fair, just like kind of spontaneously based off of the cover art. There were like posters. There was a big marketing campaign. So there were posters of like the first cover of Jake turning into the like whatever lizard, the green anole lizard. I'm sure it's pronounced a different way now that I've said that publicly. And so like I kind of just bought it. Like there was nothing else I wanted at the book fair, and I had, you know, the cash that my dad gave me that morning. And then after that, now looking at the back of the books and seeing that they cost $4 each is like pretty cool and crazy, because obviously all books are like $20 now, but like at the time they were expensive, so like I couldn't buy a lot of them, and I would just kind of get them like when I had money based on what was available. So like I didn't read them all in order. I read like a solid chunk of the first like 20 of them at like around the same period, but kind of all out of order. And then as an adult, I found there's like a forum online that just has all of them in PDF. And I had a job that I didn't really work very much at. I kind of just fucked around on the computer. Can I curse?
Oh yeah.
Cool. I kind of just fucked around on the computer a lot. So I found them, and I like would pretend to work, and I just read through all the Animorphs books at like 23 years old and was like, where are these books kick ass? And that was the first time I read like any book past like book like 30. So a lot of stuff happens. And
How many books are there total? It's like 50 something?
There's 54
54.
core books, and then there's the Megamorphs books, which there's 4 of those, I believe. And then there's like the Chronicles, which are there's the Elamist Chronicles, Visser, the Hork-Bajir Chronicles, and the Andalite Chronicles. And those are like among the best of the series. The Chronicles are really good because they kind of elaborate on the story in a way that is like technically peripheral. Like they are side characters that you're learning the backstory of, but it's like, so I guess it's not critical to the plot, but it is among the best stories of the book because like they're a little bit longer. They don't have to follow the like standard Animorphs formula, which the books get like very formulaic like for the first like 3/4 of the series.
Yeah. So what separates a Megamorphs book from the Animorphs books? Like what's the big difference really? Is it just that it's like a side story that doesn't fully affect the main overarching plot, or
So they aren't like strictly speaking necessary reading, like, but like they're not quite filler either, so like you should read them if you're reading the books. What makes them different is that they're a little bit longer, and while each of the regular core plot books only has one narrator's perspective, like it kind of alternates between each of the main characters, the Megamorphs books switch perspectives.
oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like how they do the different POVs and switch between them. That's an interesting thing, having a team and having each book be a different member of the team's perspective.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, when you mentioned reading them to your daughter, like it's a good thing and a bad thing, because like odds are she probably would have liked some characters more than others. So you kind of like need to have the initial patience to get to the ones that you'll like, which will then get you invested enough that you'll read the other ones. But like also, when I said I read them kind of piecemeal as a kid, I was reading the books from the characters that I liked mostly when I was like pretty young, and it didn't impact it probably impacted my enjoyment. I probably enjoyed it more because of that.
Yeah, maybe I should try and start her with one of the Cassie or I forget the other girl's name now's books.
Rachel, yeah.
Yes, Cassie. Yeah, that's didn't think about that. That's a good idea because yeah, she probably really did not care hearing about a teenage boy's POV.
Yeah, and Jake is a little boyish. Like, I bet she'd like the Tobias books of all the boy books. She might like the Axe books because Axe books are very funny.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. The Tobias ones would she loves birds, so that might actually. Yeah, just thought of starting chronologically and didn't even think about anything else.
Yeah, that's how we approach things as grown-ups, I feel like. And like, I mean, it's how I approach them now. I'm still reading them in order, but like I read them out of order as a kid and I loved them.
So speaking about POVs, which one character is your favorite POV character?
I don't know. Made a video a few years ago that was like attempting to rank the Animorphs characters. And it was when I first started the channel and I was like, how am I going to like turn all of this into content? Like I was very niched up at the time. I'm like a little bit less so now, but I think I don't remember even who I ranked as my favorite. Tobias has always been my favorite character because I like his books the most. But like I think I appreciate all of the characters in different ways. And I do know that Rachel is my least favorite character. But I also like understand her arc and think that like the fact that she's my least favorite character just means that like like I have a journey to go on still probably. Like I just need to read the books again and again. Like I should and could probably get to a place where I couldn't say at all that I have a least favorite or a most favorite character right now. And like if I read a Tobias book, I'll say he's probably my favorite. If I read a Marco book, I'll say he's my favorite. If I read an Axe book, I may say he's my favorite. And like as an adult rereading Cassie books, I think like from an intellectual and sort of like meta standpoint, in terms of the like part that she plays in the series as a whole, she might be my favorite as well. They all have like different stuff they bring to the table. It's very difficult to say. It's like saying your favorite band, you know?
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. The characters just they evolve so much through the things in Cassie's journey, like with she's the one who ends up with the Yerg inside her and befriending it kind of, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like she's the one who, without like spoiling anything too critical, like she's the one who like really is able to change the way that the Animorphs perceive like what their actual aims are in the war. You know, like they're just kind of fighting a defensive war, like trying to save as many people as possible for a while, and she's the one who's able to actually like get them all thinking about how they might get out of this situation that seems so unwinnable. She's kind of like a like intergalactic like shaman sort of like mystic of the Animorphs universe. And there's like other books where like weird shit happens, like she gets possessed by technological spirits and computer ghosts and shit like that. Like she's a very cool character that is not like geared towards the adolescent boy necessarily. So like when I was a kid, I didn't really like her books very much. She was probably my least favorite.
Yeah, that tends to be how it is as boys. Like did not really care about anything they made us read from girls' perspectives in like school
Yeah.
for studies. It was like, oh come on, I want to read something like fast-paced action. Like, I hated like I almost got turned off reading by school as a kid. Like, if it wasn't for like casual like reading at home and being able to choose my own books, like there was a while where I just stopped reading for a bit because I was so burnt out from like the stuff they made us read at school.
Yeah, they don't really gear it towards everyone, and I could see how that could happen. Interestingly, though, thinking about Cassie specifically, I met Ka at like a book signing a few years ago, and she told me that Cassie was her self-insert character, which kind of makes a lot of sense. So, like on more than one level, like Cassie's an environmentalist, and she's always like kind of espousing these pie in the sky like ideals about how people should be and like ethical stuff, but she also has to make a ton of moral compromises throughout the books. So like in that regard, I could see how she could be like a self-insert, but I think Ka might have said a little more than she meant to there, because I think also when Ka like needs the plot to do something, Cassie's the one who like has the wisdom to say the thing to make the plot go in the right direction too. So like I think she really is like a self-insert in more ways than one.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's hard to insert yourself in a story without blowing some smoke up your ass unless you got a pretty good ego.
Yeah.
So, why do you think Animorphs was so wildly popular as it came out? Like, I know it never eclipsed Goosebumps, but like, there was every kid I knew was either Goosebumps or Animorphs or Captain Underpants if they weren't a big reader.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did like Captain Underpants too. It
Me
was
too.
a few years later, but those books are wonderful. I think it's that like the multiple characters really helped. So like if you can't relate to one of the characters, you're going to relate to another. Like Ka did a really good job of sort of diversifying the relatability of the characters by having these multiple perspectives. The like plot and just like I mentioned before, like once I found out what the plot was, I was kind of sold. Like it's just a great premise, and for like it's kind of like an introduction to sci-fi or an introduction to like war books or like even action books if you like, for those who aren't necessarily interested, just by like virtue of a plot that and a premise that is pretty engaging, and like books that move along pretty quickly. So I think it's that. And then also like there was no internet, and like we couldn't stream shows, so like kids naturally would read more. Like I don't know if there could be a book series that captures cultural attention among like kids of that age necessarily today, the way that Goosebumps and Animorphs and Captain Underpants and like, yeah, we could probably name a few more if we tried. Like historically, you can go back in time. Fucking like Beverly Cleary was super popular. Like, can you have middle grade authors today when kids are given a cell phone at like 11 years old or however old, and it has TikTok on it, like do books stand a chance necessarily? So I think it's probably like just that that was like the last generation where you could have a book that reached that level of cultural significance.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot harder to get kids to be passionate about reading now. You like my daughter, I've maybe found 2 books where she asked me to read it to her in the last little bit, and everything else it's usually like me trying to convince her. I'm like, "Hey, let's read this book." And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, "Get to stay up a little later." And she's like, "Okay, let's
Yeah.
read the book."
Yeah, like when I was a kid, I mean, I was born in 1990, right? So I'm 35. We didn't have like cable internet until I was like 12 probably. So like going online for fun wasn't really something that happened. And we had one TV in the house, and like, I have 3 younger siblings, so like it wasn't like I could just go watch whatever I wanted to either. So I read all the fucking time
Yeah,
just like for fun. Like how many people are in that position anymore,
I know.
And I worry about how I'm going to force my kids to be in that position without them resenting me.
It's difficult if you don't like instilling it young helps, because I know definitely like my daughter likes to read, but it's because we've always read with her, like my
Yeah.
mom and everything. And I know for me it was like my grandma had me reading by 3 years old. I could read a book by myself at 3, and I was playing Pokemon on the Game Boy by the time I was 4 and doing it by myself. And it
Yeah.
was a totally different time. Like we also, like, I was the youngest of 3 kids. We had like our living room TV, and I had books and my Game Boy, and so everything was centered around reading. And like, I don't think my daughter would like reading nearly as much as she does if she wasn't a big Pokemon fan. And I'm so glad Pokemon has never introduced voice acting, and I hope they never do,
Yeah.
because it's like it really gets her reading. And like she'll read Pokemon novels and stuff now because she has to read the games. All the words are familiar to her, so she can
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
one of those novels in like the blink of an eye and doesn't even have to think about it. And she's just, yeah, no, it's wild. And it's a totally different time because like I can't get her to read anything but Pokemon books.
Hey, it's something though.
Oh yeah, I was just thankful she read them on her own. So do you think there's any problematic parts of Animorphs or anything that hasn't really aged well with the series?
Probably, but like I mean, people don't like this generally, but like I'm very into, first of all, separating the art from the artist, and second of all, assuming best intention wherever possible. Just because, like, I don't want to fucking live in a world where I need to go around finding like the next moral crusade to go on. Like there's
Agreed.
enough obvious and easy moral crusades to go on that, like, I just, I know I like the books and I trust that Kay is a good person, but also like I don't care if she's not, like I get shit for this all the time, and like I get the occasional bad comment on my channel from this. Like I don't know that we need to be looking to authors to like lead us in any kind of moral way. Like they're just entertainers just like anyone else. And like someone commented, I said this in a video once, and someone commented and was like, well, I'm just going to view you as just an entertainer. Then you're just a monkey clapping cymbals to me. And I was like, yes, dude, actually I'm worse. Like, I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I'm worse than a fucking like regular entertainer. You shouldn't listen to me for anything, dude. My channel is only about books, and there's nothing that says that I know more about what you should read than you do. Like, so, I don't care. There are plenty of things that have aged poorly. There are plenty of things that probably have aged well. And most of that is just a projection of the reader. Like, I think KA was writing books to do whatever her goals were at the time. And part of that was probably to tell a good story. And part of it was to make money. And part of it was to churn out content because she had a contract. And like, whatever those circumstances are, they led to a product that I enjoy and I love. And like, so it doesn't matter really to me.
Yeah, it's really wild how passionate people can get just because somebody has a differing viewpoint or something like that, and because they're some sort of public figure. Like, people should be able to disagree respectfully like that without having to try and cancel each other. Like, if the whole J.K. Rowling thing, it's like, I may not agree with her viewpoints, but I'm also like, Harry Potter means a lot to a lot of people, and it shouldn't be crapped on because the author decided to say something that is now viewed as unpopular. And yeah, you don't have to like her, but like, it doesn't change what Harry Potter is or what it means to people or anything like that. It's the artist and the art can be separated. You can still enjoy it without. There's so many other people out there, like people who wanted to boycott the films and game and stuff. It's like, okay, J.K. Rowling is one person profiting off this. There are hundreds of other people who probably are great human beings who are working on this game who need the money way more than J.K. Rowling. She's already rich.
Yeah.
You're not hurting her.
It's not making a difference to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, JK is like, for me personally too, like I made a video once. She has a mystery series, and I also talk about mystery books on my channel, to the dismay probably of everyone who waits for the Animorphs videos because they're easier to make. So I get them out a little quicker sometimes.
I like the mystery videos too.
Yeah, I mean, I love mystery books. It's what I read as an adult for the most part. And in one of them, I recommended a JK book because she has a mystery series, and it was not good. And like, the thing is, like, you're gonna get shit regardless. Like, so like, I had an older video where she had, in one of her recent mystery novels, the book is like about internet trolls and like secret right-wing internet conspiracy groups and like all of this shit, and like it's all very like dramatic and caricaturized, and it's very obvious that she's trying to write about her experience as a celebrity dealing with what she perceives as internet trolls. And I made a video about it, and the thesis of the video is basically like, J.K. Rowling perceives herself as a perpetual victim regardless of like anything, and it seems clear that she's not willing to critically examine like the part that she plays in her own bullshit. And people commented and were like, how dare you platform a transphobe? And it's like, dude, like, I have 1,000 fucking followers. Like, she's already extremely famous. How insecure are you in your fucking like, self that you need to flex on me because I don't like JK for a different reason than you don't like her? Like, we both don't like her. I don't like her because I think that she's fucking stupid. You don't like her because you think she's a murderous bigot. Like, okay, we surely can agree.
Yeah.
So it's very stupid and annoying.
Well, I mean, that's the internet for you, man. People just fucking pick fights over stupid shit. And it's like, hey, we're on the same side despite, like, we may have different reasons, but ideally we should be on the same side here.
Yeah, I mean, I like, my kind of thing is that I just want to assume that everyone's a good person at the end of the day. At least most people are. And I think like even that applies to JK, even though like I think she sucks in many different ways, and I don't think that she's a very like fucking like honest person. Like, I think everyone who's hating on me for platforming her has their heart in the right place. And then also like in the video where I recommended another book of hers where I said like, look, I know a lot of you don't like her. I separate the art from the artist, so it is what it is. A lot of people commented and were like, how dare you slander JK when she's only willing to speak the truth, and like she's the last whatever the fuck like bastion of truth in fiction that we have. And it's like, dude, like all I said was there's people who don't like her. I didn't even say what I thought of her. Like, I don't fucking like her either. I just don't like her for different reasons. And like, I don't know, it's asinine. And people who think she's like the fucking like prophet of wisdom because she's willing to say whatever the fuck about the issue they agree with her with, like, she did retcon that Dumbledore was gay. Like, it's not like she's new, like, fucking. It's not like she's never capitulated to like cultural pressure before.
Yep.
She did it right up until trans things, and then she stopped doing it. So, like, if you think that she is standing up for truth in whatever political way that you perceive truth, she's not. She happily capitulated to cultural pressure up until a point. That's why I don't like her. I don't think she's morally consistent. Anyway, this has been a big tangent. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. Like, I agree completely. Like, it's like, part of me is like, okay, she's standing by her beliefs. That's commendable to an extent. Like, whatever. Like, that's where you draw the line. But like, it's a weird place to draw the line.
It's a weird place to draw the line. And like, that you should be able to say that and be like, you know what? I don't think she wants to murder all the trans people. I just think she's like got her head up her ass a little bit.
Yeah.
And like, you should be able to say that without being accused of also wanting to murder all the trans people, you know?
Yeah, I mean, some people are just ignorant and don't understand, and they don't like something because of that. And it's like, it's not always violent. It's sometimes just, okay, they don't get it and they don't want to be a part of it, and they should just keep their opinion to themselves.
Yes,
But
that's really what it comes down
yeah.
to. Twitter has given us too much of a fucking window into so many of these creators' actual thoughts. Like, let them be monkeys clapping cymbals, as far as I'm concerned. That's what they signed up for.
Yeah,
you know?
like, I ain't here to be like convincing anyone of anything. I just want to make content. If you don't read too much into anything I say, people, because
Yeah.
90% of what is said is a fucking joke.
Yeah, like, I'm not trying to start a fucking religion, dude. I'm trying to talk about Animorphs on YouTube of all places. Like, that should be as much of a grain of salt as you need about my fucking how much you should respect and admire me. That this is my platform and niche.
Definitely. So getting back to Animorphs a little bit, if
Yes.
you had to pick a battle morph for yourself, what animal would you pick to morph into?
I think about this all the time, and there's a few that I would like opt for. I think about like polar bear a lot because I think polar bears are awesome. They've just always been one of my favorite animals. You know, they're super powerful. It'd probably get a little hot if I were fighting somewhere warm. You know, like, I wouldn't like that. I don't like being hot. But like, probably polar bear because they look so cool. But then also, like, I just always have wanted to fly. So like, that makes me want to like think about a bird. But like, birds would just, you know, I mean, when Tobias is like in his hawk form, he's like almost useless in most fights. So I don't know, probably a polar bear.
Yeah, mine, I think I would go white tiger. I just think they look so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
If for your bird morph, what would your bird morph be?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe like a harpy eagle, actually, because they could like fight a land animal pretty well, I think. Though, like, I understand they're not as good at flying as more like small and aerodynamic birds.
Yeah, I'd go with seagull because then I'd be unassuming anywhere I go.
Yeah, I'd fit in anywhere.
Yeah, just gotta pick up some trash and actually, I don't know, because like you get taken over by the instincts. I'd be out there gobbling garbage.
Yep, that is what happens.
So, if you had to be stuck in an animal morph, what kind of morph would you want to be stuck in?
Oh, I'd want something that's gonna live for a while, but I wouldn't want to be like a turtle or something. Maybe a parrot. Parrots can fly, which is awesome, and they can live for like a long time. Okay, so I would, whatever the longest living, whatever is highest on the intersection of like longevity and also like attractiveness of parrot. That's what I would want to be, with longevity being a higher priority.
Yeah, and I guess because you keep your mental faculties, the ability to mimic speech, it's going to
You can
basically let you talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a smart one. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought about that myself. Where can
Yeah,
everybody find you?
Just go on YouTube. I don't know what my tag is. My tag is so bad. It's got like letters and numbers in it. This is why I don't have any followers. It's not the content. Actually, it's just my name and my last initial. So it's at Marcello Marcllom on YouTube. That is the only place you can find me. I don't do Instagram for this. I do not do any other platforms. I am just a YouTuber.
So yeah, makes pretty good Animorphs content. If you read the books as a kid and want to refresh yourself, go check them out. His content's great. His mystery videos are a lot of fun too. So if you're not into Animorphs, he does have a lot of other content that you can check out. I've been going through his whole thing for the last couple months, and I've watched his Animorph videos more than once to refresh myself. It's a good series. So, thanks a lot for coming on and talking Animorphs. It has been a blast. I really appreciate you coming on. And yeah, if there's any other things you're a fan of, I'd love to have you back again.
Thank you, dude. Anytime. This has been fun.
Thanks for listening. If you like the show, make sure you follow us and rate 5 stars and share it with all your friends. If you'd like to be a guest, email us at pod.fandoms@gmail.com. Or you can message us on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, or Reddit. You can also join our Discord to chat with other fans, suggest questions for upcoming episodes, or find out about our new shows dropping soon. If you want to be super deadly, you can join our Patreon as well. Thanks for all your support. See you next time.